always been a very, very close family.
Every Sunday our granddad used to come. Every week they'd be there, and every week he would make such a fuss of us. You know, he was the best granddad.
Do you remember him having like what could be a very large garden shed or a wooden building or something like this?
I think he spent most of his time out in the outhouse and out in his garden because it kept him out of my nan's house.
He did used to grow runner beans, and I do remember him growing the strawberries, which Tony mentioned, and they were delicious.
To grow strawberries are important, you see that. And I feel his strawberries he grew in his garden tasted the best.
He started to speak about our mother, who passed away about 6 years ago.
She didn't give a hoot, really, what other people might have thought about her or what other people might have said about her, because she was very, what's the word I want to use, comfortable in her own skin. Do you see this?
She liked to be in the thick of things, and also when he mentioned about us being, 3 of us should have been here and 3 of us wanted to be here.
I can't help but feel that one of you's missing or one of you's not here. Do you see that? Because her love should go to the 3 of you. You see that?
It's my daughter. That she's probably a little young yet. She's 15, but
she's been on the phone all morning asking
how we're getting on. She desperately would have liked to have come.
I feel that you were with her as she passes to the spirit world. Do you see that? And I know she registers this idea of you are with me as I pass. And when she passes over, darling, would you remember being on her right-hand side?
We were all there, myself, my dad and Donna, and I was at the right-hand side. And Donna, I would say, was probably very active at the point where Mum passed, and I think she definitely knew she was there, but it was really great for me to have the reassurance of knowing that she knew I was there also.
There's a thought here that runs through my mind where yellow roses have been given to her with great significance. You see this?
Every time I take flowers over there, I always try and get yellow ones, particularly yellow roses, because they're my favourites.
When he walks with me, either he had a foot that's slightly turned inward, which feels more like his left foot as he stands with me. Do you see that to be correct?
Saying that the left leg turned in, that was the start of his illness, that it started affecting his left leg, and that was the very start of it. And he's walking.
But I know as I watch him walk, I'm aware of that slight limp to his left side.
Now I've had the reading, I feel so happy to know that they are there and they're all together. And when Dad went, all we wanted to know was that he was going to be with Mum. He waited long enough to be with her, and to know that he is with her means the world to us.
Oh, I couldn't thank Tony enough. It's been wonderful, and you know, everything we've dreamed.
It's a lovely feeling. Lovely feeling to know that they're together.
Tony brought through for me today my husband Keith.
So it feels like in your own bedroom he passes at home, and I know this gentleman was although may have appeared a little unwell, a little out of sorts, we certainly didn't expect him to pass over.
My husband passed away in bed at home. My husband's passing wasn't expected. Yes, it was expected he'd get better, but he didn't. Tony mentioned a D named Derek, which is my husband's brother.
And I tell you now that he's always remembered for his beaming smile. That's what I think, my beaming smile. And when he smiles to me, do you remember his deep dimples in his cheeks there as he smiles?
Yes. Yes, Tony did mention his smile and his dimples, and he did have a big smile. Yes, he did. Tony asked us about the dancing, and we used to do Latin, American and ballroom.
I know that he can dance, this man, but I feel that he wants to jive with you as well, but you and he were actually very good at it. Did you see that?
Yes.
You better have your dancing shoes ready, because you'll be off with him, I tell you that.
Because my husband couldn't dance, so he took dancing lessons so we could dance together. Oh, we did the jive a lot, and we won medals for it. Yes, yes, it was good.
I know his skin was easily tanned in the sun as well. And so he might have been out for a day to Southend-on-Sea, but he looked like he's come from somewhere gorgeous, you know.
Oh, he loved the sun. Yes, Tony asked us about his tan, and any bit of sun, he was there.
There should be a Keith.
Yeah, that's my son.
Keith, that's it. So your son.
keys was his own name and my son's name. It meant a lot, actually. Yeah.
Tony brought a lady through called Doreen, who was more or less like my nan.
And would you know that I'm in my early 60s with her when she passes?
Yep.
And do you see how her husband is alive in the world when she passes also? You
Yes.
see that?
Doreen was around 62 when she died. Yes, Doreen was survived by a husband called Eric, who I'm still in contact with.
You should remember her having a beautiful home, darling, in the lifetime, or a very clean, immaculate space that she lived in. Do you know? You see that for me. Because I feel it's like, I say a show home, but to her it's as a show home.
Doreen liked to keep her house very tidy and very clean, and her husband Eric still carried on that.
Do you know, I believe that our Doreen had known that she was poorly and before anybody else had.
I think that she did know for a long time before she told anyone that she was ill, or even before she would go to the doctors.
To my family and to my friends, it feels like my illness was short and fast and rapid. Do you see that for me there?
Yes, it was all over within about 3 months from the diagnosis. Yeah, the couple spent a lot of time in their conservatory.
Do you remember her having white conservatory furnishings or white wicker chair? When I sit down, it makes a creaky noise. You see this?
The furniture is still there. She had a white patio set. I don't know, but I will be asking Eric about the furniture as to whether it still creaks or not.
Have you thought recently of working for a hospice or wanting to volunteer for other people that are poorly?
I do voluntary work for a hospital.
Already?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite good then, wasn't it? That's good. Well done.
Yes, I do a lot of voluntary work for Patford Hospital. I'm actually a patient myself. So.
She doesn't do anything other than blow you a kiss.
Doreen never kissed anybody on the cheek or anything like that. She would always blow a kiss. I do believe that there is an afterlife.
She made this for me. Quite a pretty one, and I felt, you know, that she might come to me if I had that.
I'm not sure, something glistens on your top there, it could be a brooch or something just here, but that draws the spirit world's attention.
I have a problem at the moment, it's affecting my leg.
She knows that you've been suffering with your knees or your legs just recently. You know, I need to go to the midpoint of August here that I know is important to me.
12th of August was her son's birthday. Yeah, he was 7 while she was in hospital.
That there was also like a misdiagnosis in her condition to begin with. So when I'm unwell, they didn't spot it. When I'm unwell, they didn't know it. When I'm unwell, there was time wasted and this kind of thing. Is it okay? And it feels to me a good 6 and 8 months down the line.
She was on holiday and felt unwell, went to a local medical centre, and they took her word for it and prescribed antibiotics. When she came home, it hadn't cleared, so she went to her own doctor. She saw that she was swelling in the tummy and sent her straight to the hospital. It was 8 months from the actual diagnosis of the cancer to the day she died.
Sure. Would you know whether the name of Linda would also link with her there?
You mentioned Linda, and that was a very old school friend of hers. She was her bridesmaid, her chief bridesmaid. We've wanted to go to see somebody, but I wanted to talk to her, but I knew I'd get upset.